Hello, this is Tom, aka Gedeon, here for Tabletop Tap Room. We have another episode of This Week in Gaming Stupid: How Not to Hide Assets in a Bankruptcy or a Divorce. But before we get to that, let me just say thanks for watching the video. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you've not subscribed, please do hit the like, subscribe, bell icon. I want to just give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Gloomer Games. They had a successful Kickstarter. He sent me the final numbers. It was 23,000. They more than tripled their funding goal. So very successful Kickstarter for them. Their second or third Kickstarter they've run. So good on them. And let's get a quick word from Professor Dungeon Master about what he thinks about Gloomer Games' Mystic Days, the Clyde Caldwell edition.
This video is brought to you by Gloomer Games' Mystic Days, the Caldwell edition. The Kickstarter includes 4 hardbound books: Monsters and Mayhem, Magic and Treasure, Player's Book, and Adventure Guide. OSR style, 6 classic stats, no character classes, you build the character you want, no initiative to slow things down, no OP characters, and death is always on the table. You roll to cast, failure could lead to an explosive catastrophe, and every weapon is unique. Polearms get the place they deserve with every weapon having a reach modifier, and monsters are bestial and not humanized. With fantastic cover art by Clyde Caldwell, this is old school gaming the way you remember. Links below.
So yes, the link will be in the show notes, and congratulations, Gloomer Games, for a successful Kickstarter. This is a game I backed. Where's my copy of the game? Sitting around here. Oh, here we are. So I backed it when it was just Mystic Days and had the white cover, but it's now getting the Clyde Caldwell covers, beautifully bound, and signed box sets even in that, as well as miniatures and dice. There's a lot of stretch goals got reached. So congratulations, Gloomer Games. But let's get on to RPG Stupid. This was a video. I could have done it last week, decided not to. The reason I decided not to was that I didn't want to reveal these things that I'm about to reveal and then give an opportunity to a certain troll in South Carolina to fix them, so they couldn't come back and bite him. I really wanted them to bite him. So that meant I had to wait till I knew people were informing lawyers. And so I was just giving it a week before I brought this stuff up. But it turns out that if you go to the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum, that the website has had a change. I mean, not the landing page here, but when you go to the online store and you go through the store, you will begin to see that some products are missing. Distinctly TSR products. What's in here now is all of the patches, which are not labeled TSR. And then the things that are in here have been relabeled OSR games. Okay. And we can back out. Actually, I'll bring up, I did a bunch of screenshots on earlier in prep for this. So we'll just go through the screenshots rather than back in and out of web pages. But Tales for Tots. Oops, that's the old TSR one. Now, here we go. Dungeon Hobby Shop, OSR Games, Cult of Abaddon. The trademark has been stripped. Ernie Zawa. This is not Ernie Zawa. Sammy Zawa by Ernest Gygax Jr. This is Ernie's book that he wrote. I believe it's based on stories that Gary Gygax Sr. told to him. TSR published it, so hey, no TSR logo on it. Tales for Tots now has the OSR logo on it. My name is Cheesa, not Pizza. All right, clean cover, no trademark. And those pesky goblins. Has the Ernie Gygax approved stamp seal of approval, but the TSR logo has been stripped. Now, I know what Justin would say. He'd be like, we have plenty of screenshots of all of this stuff with the TSR logo. Dungeon Crawl had the TSR logo. Here, Wonderful Deinhardt is posting about his buddy Justin Lanassa's Those Pesky Goblins, and you can clearly see on here the TSR logo, and then down here again, yes. So TSR logo. Oh, here we go. There it is. TSR Hobbies. Star Frontiers New Genesis. I am going to be wearing my Star Frontiers New Genesis t-shirt, but this is the Star Frontiers New Genesis Urban Dictionary t-shirt. It had the Urban Dictionary entry printed on the back. It just says Star Frontiers New Genesis on the front. It was a real mocking Urban Dictionary entry, and that's why I bought the t-shirt. So I'm not promoting a racist game, hateful, racist, nasty game as Star Frontiers New Genesis, but you can see here TSR logo, very, very, very plain. Hardcover book for Star Frontiers New Genesis and TSR Hobbies logo. Coming soon. This is posted by Dungeon Hobby Shop. Yes, it is. And then down here, TSR Hobbies. Coming soon, Those Pesky Goblins. Now, if I can rabbit trail for just a second before I get to the piece de resistance, the thing that I did not want to reveal the mistake that Justin had made in his hiding of assets for the bankruptcy case and trying to hide assets, possibly in the WotC case, is that concerning those pesky goblins. This was an ad that TSR put up, and you know, for those pesky goblins coming soon. If you, right down here, by Justin Lanassa and J.R. Norris. So who's J.R. Norris? Well, I looked the guy up. Had a long conversation with him, and J.R. Norris tells me that he was responsible for about a third of the book. Now, I actually believe him. You know, when people are lying to you, they kind of overinflate their accomplishments. You know, so he'd be, oh yeah, half, 2/3. I mean, 90% is all me. You know, we had a conversation, and I told him, I says, I'm not sure you really want to claim, you want to have your name attached to Those Pesky Goblins after I'd reviewed it. But, you know, he said he developed a third of the book. And if you look up here, you can see in the artwork his signature, Norris. So he was responsible for a third of the book and for the artwork. Now, this is when it's coming soon, but when it came out as Those Pesky Goblins by Justin Lanassa. J.R. Norris was dropped. What happened? Well, J.R. Norris had a business in California called Goblin's Hollow, and he was introduced to Justin Lanassa through their mutual friend, Michael Hovermail. And J.R. Norris, with his Goblin's Hollow, had this idea for Those Pesky Goblins and was developing this game and helping TSR to develop the game. But a wildfire went through California and leveled his town. Absolutely leveled his town. Burned out his business, his home, his business gone. When I got a hold of him, he still had his car and, you know, whatever was in his car. And we had to make arrangements to chat when he could get near Wi-Fi. So, you know, the guy was in a depressed situation of having lost 99%, 95% of everything he owned. I mean, you know, that's my Aunt Jean and Uncle Richard went through a fire, lost everything. And my mother instantly went right into the closet and the attic and pulled out all the duplicate gifts that they had gotten for wedding gifts. this, because that was back in the 60s before, the registries and all that. So she had gotten duplicates of everything, and she just reset them up with a house. So when you go through a fire, it's a real tragic thing. You lose so much, family photographs, everything. So this guy he's been kicked by life. He's been kicked and knocked down, J.R. Norris. And what does Justin do? Does he do a post on any of his social media to say, hey, one of our authors and artists gone through a tough thing here, prayers and good wishes for him, which is not much, but or did he set up a GoFundMe? Hey, we're running a GoFundMe to help. He went through a forest fire, went through this town leveled, this tragic situation, trying to help him out. Not that I would trust a GoFundMe set up by Justin Lanassa that he had his fingers in. Okay, but did he do that? No. What did he do? He stripped the man's name from the book. Okay, stole the man's work, stripped his name, used his artwork, used his writing, and kicked him to the curb when he was down, which is not surprising when you look at what's been going on with Ernie Gygax Jr. recently, where his health situation in and out, critical condition in ICU, in and out of the hospital. And not one word on social media, anywhere on social media that I've seen, on any of the TSR, Justin Lanassa social media, saying, hey, Ernie, hope you get better. No well wishes for Ernie, which are really easy to do. Doesn't cost you anything, just breath out of your mouth, really. None of that. It demonstrates a complete lack of empathy in this guy. It demonstrates a morality that's I'll screw you over if I can, and I think it's really telling what he did to Mr. Norris with those pesky goblins. So that's my rabbit trail. I wanted to rabbit trail on that because I think the situation and what happened to Mr. Norris is really not good. More Star Frontiers New Genesis with the TSR. Some Tails and Tots. And notice it says first edition Lizard Man. Okay. But they've cropped the picture to strip out the TSR. And you can tell that they cropped the picture. But these others, you've got the Lizard Man wizard with the beard logo up here, and first edition TSR with the word mark TSR. So he was not content to squat on just one trademark. I'm going to squat on all of them. Because if he could have possibly gotten away with just kind of squatting on, they did a redraw of the Lizard Man. So it's technically not the same because it was redrawn. They could have gotten away with that, just that. But let's squat on everything. Let's force WotC to pay attention and to take notice. So why are we looking at all these trademarks? So let's go to the website because I best show you this on the website. So here we are, Tails and Tots boxed set. It's a 16-page, folded in half, center stapled, mimeographed, basically rule book with his dollar store dice in a box set, selling for $29.99, which is what drew my attention and made me laugh. This is new, okay? I've not seen this before on the store. But I saw this box set and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But here's this unique logos version and there's a drop down. And let's blow this up. This is really worth us taking a good look at. Look at these logos versions. So these all these logos versions that he printed and had laying around, he putting them in the box set. And you can get the one you want, the angled logo, the TSR angle logo, the TSR Wizard Beard logo, the TSR Wizard Wand logo, the TSR Lizard Man logo, TSR Dragon logo. So he has sanitized the Dungeon Hobby Shop store of anything that said TSR. And he looked at this and didn't pay attention to the drop-down menu, forgot that this stuff was there, and left this all in. And I can tell you that emails went out. I know that people sent emails out to the various lawyers saying, hey, he sanitized the webpage, but here's the evidence that he's trying to hide his assets because he forgot about this one. Because it was, when you look at the page, you don't see the TSR logo. So when he was cleaning Star Frontiers New Genesis and cleaning out everything, putting the OSR stickers on everything and cropping out the TSR marks, he completely overlooked this. And this is how you do not hide assets. Because in an adversarial relationship, the court somebody is going to point it out to the judge, to the lawyers. Completely, and this is his website. But, better yet, if you go up here to the line, up here on the line, it still says tsrmuseum.com, because he is trying to allege in bankruptcy court that Dungeon Hobby Shop existed first, then TSR. And he's trying to separate the Dungeon Hobby Shop from TSR, and yet it's still the TSR Museum. And I have to wonder, what was the problem with that? You couldn't get Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum domain name? And I suspect I know why, because I had heard various people, not just one person, but I'd heard various people talking about, oh yeah, he let that domain go. I think I'm going to snatch it up and sit on that domain and make that domain point to No Hate in Gaming, or make that domain point to this page over here, just to twist his tail a little bit. So he still is using TSR Museum. He couldn't even get a new domain, set up a new domain for the museum store. This is just not how you hide assets. And it clearly shows, even though you've made the efforts to sanitize the museum, it clearly shows this was an entity of TSR Hobbies, and that it was selling TSR product for TSR. It is completely entangled with TSR. And so the asset that Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is, the property value is $170,000. Last time I checked, I thought it was $170,000. It's up there. That's a pretty good asset. I think people will be able to get paid back for their trouble in this bankruptcy filing. So this is not how you hide assets. This is how you demonstrate that you're hiding assets. And anytime I've ever heard of somebody hiding assets in a divorce case or bankruptcy, it's always been like a gun collection or a car, the Mercedes, my 1968 classic Mustang convertible. I drove it out to my brother's barn and hid it in the barn, type of thing. That kind of stuff is the standard. And why? Well, because those things are big ticket items and they're very emotional attachment. We're talking about some of these things that he's trying to hide. There's no value to that. When it's a 16 page, folded in half, center stapled book that you made yourself, that you printed on a photocopier yourself, and marketing with squatted on trademarks that will be impounded, that WotC is petitioning the court to have anything with the TSR trademark on it seized. Yeah. There's no, you let it go. You let it go. You don't try to hide it. No, I want to hang on to this, 80-cent booklet I printed myself on a photocopier and center stapled myself. And, no, you hide the 1968 Mustang convertible. I get that, and I don't know how often hiding assets works, but I've heard enough of big ticket items, the Mercedes, the gun collection, artwork. I've heard of this kind of thing, and I don't know how often hiding assets, but this is not how you do it. This is not how it's done. And that's why this week's in RPG Stupid is that he's sanitizing his website to hide assets, and he can't even do that right. And the lawyers are all over this. They already know. They're all over this. So this is the character of this guy. He thinks he can do anything, doesn't have to listen to anybody. His lawyers must love him. And comments have come out of the TSR camp that this is costing him a lot of money. And, it's laughable. It's going to cost him even more money because he's not listened to his lawyer. He's not done things the right way. He doesn't believe rules apply to himself. And he has no empathy. No empathy for J.R. Norris, no empathy for Ernie Gygax Jr., no empathy for anyone. He's stuck on himself. That he is righteous, he is right, he can do whatever he wants, rules don't apply to him. So I just had a good laugh this week looking over the changed museum store and finding that box set. The box set was funny in itself. He really expects somebody to pay $30 for it. And I almost want to drop the 30 and do an unboxing video. I don't know if I want him to have my address so I can get a 2-pound box of elephant poop mailed to me. Like Tenkar did. So this is Tom for Tabletop Taproom. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for not falling for the buffoonery, the lies, the deception that is all wrapped up in TSR, new TSR, Nutzer. Keep on gaming. Just don't do it with anything labeled TSR.